The difference between the trader you are and the trader you could be comes down to one thing: discipline. I've had the opportunity to work one on one with some very successful people. People who build companies, manage teams, build wealth, and thrive under pressure. But the moment they sit in front of the market, their discipline collapses, their decisions get emotional, their standards drop. And every time they tell me the exact same thing: I know exactly what I should be doing, but I struggle to do it. That's the real enemy in trading. Not your ability to read price action or indicators or your strategy. It's the internal battle within yourself, between the trader you are and the trader you know you can be. And this has nothing to do with how successful you are in life, in university, in your job, in your career. But I assure you, there are specific things you can do to understand and build discipline within yourself so you can close the gap between the trader you are and the trader you would love to be. Now, traders, if you find this useful, don't forget to comment a supportive comment and like and subscribe so you can be notified when I release my next video. Now, there's a quote by Socrates where he says, "It's a shame for an individual to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which their own body is capable." And although he was referring to the physical body, you can't really separate the mind and body. And that quote's really relevant here because there are so many traders out there who go through their trading journey, but they never find out how capable they are as traders because they never learn to master discipline. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact framework I give to my 6 and 7 figure traders to help them understand and master discipline, so you can stop doing the destructive behaviors that sabotage your potential and start doing the constructive behaviors that lead to you building your funded accounts and getting payouts consistently. Now, most traders have what I refer to as this split. The split is between the good and the bad. The good trader you think you could be, that you have this ideal projection in the future about who you would love to be as a trader, executing a plan with proper risk management, sticking to your trading plan, patiently waiting when there are no setups around. Many traders have this good idea about who they would love to be as a trader because they think, if I could just do that, I'm then able to scale my accounts, get consistent payouts, leave my 9 to 5 job. So they have this ideal future self that they envision trading their accounts. But the split is when who they currently are doesn't align with their ideal future identity. And they end up labeling their current behavior as bad because it doesn't align with this future ideal self. They perceive themselves participating in these destructive trading behaviors, over trading when there's no setups according to their plan, they still get into the market, over risking when they've taken a loss, they want to risk more in the next to make back plus some. They're run by FOMO, they're run by fear, they make fear based decisions and impulsive decisions in their trading to try and alleviate pains or try and capture after that quick win. They're not sticking to their trading plan. So the split is between the trader they envision themselves being and the trader they currently are. I'm going to show you how, as a trader, you can close the gap between who you currently are and your ideal future vision for yourself. So you can have the constructive behaviors that help you have consistent profitability as a trader. Now, traders, if you're finding fear running your trading decisions and you're lacking certainty in your trading execution, then I want you to click on the first link in the description. This is a completely free course and free tool called the Bulletproof Your Trading Mindset 2.0. And that's exactly what it does. It teaches you how to bulletproof your trading mindset so you can stick to your trading plan and you'll never be taken away from your trading plan again. You make every decision according to your trading plan, allowing you to scale up unemotionally and have consistent profitability, and as a result, pull consistent payouts from the market. In the free course, you get a deep understanding of your psychology, you get a free tool to implement every day, and you become part of a global community of traders dedicated to bulletproofing their trading mindset. Now, the split isn't only created in your trading, it's also created in your life. We have this idea, this ideal future self we have for ourselves, one that's eating healthy, one that moderates its behaviors and doesn't go into too much compulsive or addictive behaviors, someone that is participating in healthy, moderated behaviors that are balanced. And we label this as the good, and we have this ideal future self And then by contrast, we have this current self that participates in destructive behaviors, overeating, watching pornography, consuming too much alcohol, too many gambling behaviors. And we can create this split within our life, not only in our trading, between who we currently are and who we would love to be. And again, the only difference is discipline. I'm going to show you how to master discipline so you can close this gap and really you could integrate the bad and the good parts of yourself. And no matter how successful you are in your career, no matter how refined your image is, no matter how much money you have, I've seen it. No matter how refined and how successful you look on the outside, these so-called successes still have a part of themselves that they participate in destructive behaviors, whether that's in their trading or maybe manifests in their relationships or in their health or in their life or in their own self-talk, whatever it may be, there is this split. And I'm going to show you how to integrate that split. Now, firstly, we must understand the different types of our brain and the biochemistry that goes behind that. Because ultimately, your brain reallocates its resources, and the brain can allocate its resources, the blood, glucose, and oxygen, to the limbic system, the amygdala. Now, the limbic system is responsible for survival. It's responsible for keeping you alive. The limbic system labels things either positive or negative. It wants to seek after the positive, the pleasure, and it wants to avoid the pain and the negative. This is a survival response to seek after pleasure and food and to avoid pain and threat and prey, all as a way to keep you alive. And anthropologically, this survival response was highly necessary because thousands of years ago, there were day-to-day constant life-threatening situations where the limbic system was required to keep our ancestors alive. Nowadays, it's a little bit different, where we have a lot of the basic needs covered for, so we can start to activate higher functions. But if we're living in the limbic system, the survival part of our brain, we're going to be highly emotional. We're going to be seeking and avoiding, seeking pleasure, avoiding pain. This is where the split is more pronounced, where we label certain behaviors good and we seek after those behaviors and we feel really proud and very elated and very happy when we complete those behaviors. And as a result, we feel very pained and depressed and shameful and guilty when we do the so-called bad behaviors. This is what the split is. But if we learn to quiet down the limbic system, the amygdala, and put the prefrontal cortex in charge, we can integrate the brain a little bit more. And we can be a little bit more poised. Instead of seeking after pleasure and avoiding pain, we have more of an integrated state, which is more of a strategic thinking of, this is a plan, this is my strategy, this is my end objection, these are the action steps I'm going to take to get there. And when we're operating from the prefrontal cortex, we feel more poised and we're more integrated and we're less reactive, we're more stable, and we tend to achieve more. And this is the part of the brain that is more integrated. It's less emotional, less reactive, and it sticks to strategic planning and execution. So as a trader or as an individual wanting to go on a path to self-mastery and achieve the goals they want to achieve in all areas of life, it's wise to learn to quiet down the amygdala and put the prefrontal cortex in charge, so you can identify what needs to be done and do it. So an individual can either be split, seeking after good and avoiding the bad, and like an animal, emotional, seeking after a positive outcome and then getting hit eventually, inevitably, by the negative that exists also, but you're denying and trying to avoid. And you go on this oscillation of feeling very happy and elated when you think you've got a positive without a negative, and then getting very sad and depressed when you realize you can't avoid the unavoidable. And this is seeking after the unattainable, positive and good all the time, and trying to avoid, but attracting the unavoidable, which is the bad. And that's what suffering as a human being is, trying to avoid the unavoidable and seek after the unattainable. So we can either be in this state of seek and avoid and split and emotional and run through our limbic system, or we can be more integrated and activate the prefrontal cortex, which is more process based and more strategic and follows high priority actions every day and builds momentum. Now, as long as you're addicted to the good and the positive action and the so-called constructive action, you're going to attract the bad, destructive behaviors into your life and into your trading. So anytime you're trying to avoid the bad and you're not willing to extract the lesson from it and understand why it's there in the first place, and the more you try and repress that behavior and seek after the so-called good behavior, the more you're going to attract this into your life inevitably, because it's there for a particular reason. Now, I'm going to show you how you can uncover these unconscious motives and reasonings and how to actually integrate yourself in a way that these don't continue to resurface. So you can be more integrated, more process-based, and this is ultimately where you'll get results. So many traders say, I want to have more discipline so I don't do these self-sabotaging, bad, destructive behaviors. But the truth is, each of these so-called bad and destructive behaviors are there serving an unconscious motive and purpose in that moment. Otherwise, they wouldn't exist. They wouldn't be there unless they were serving some particular purpose. So every so-called bad and destructive behavior, over trading, revenge trading, taking trades outside of your plan, over risking, all of these individual behaviors, so-called self-sabotaging behaviors, they have an unconscious motive built into them. You wouldn't move a muscle without a particular motive. Now, just because I'm saying they're not bad doesn't mean I'm trying to say they're good. What I'm trying to say here is that you want to, instead of shunning a behavior and shaming yourself and guilting yourself for a behavior and saying, I shouldn't do that, it's much wiser to understand why you're participating in that behavior in the first place, uncovering the unconscious motives, finding the triggers that trigger you into that behavior, putting viable alternative strategies in place so that you can manage that behavior effectively. You address the root cause of what that behavior is a symptom of, and now you form yourself into a more constructive trader and a more constructive human being. So every so-called destructive and self-sabotaging behavior follows this four-step process. Firstly, you're triggered. Now, I worked recently one-on-one with a trader who was triggered into over trading, taking trades outside of their plan and over risking. That's what they told me. They said, I'm an idiot. I keep doing this. I want to stop doing this. So the first thing I did was I took them back to a specific moment. They took a trade outside of their plan, they over traded, and they over risked. And we identified in that moment, what were the triggers triggering you into that behavior? What were the triggers that you were triggered by in that moment that then led to a compounding effect and the so-called self-sabotaging behavior? And we identified certain triggers. Certain triggers were, for this individual, more than 3 losses in a row. When they felt like they had more than 3 losses in a row, they felt incredibly anxious. They felt like they were put on the back foot. They felt like they were deep in drawdown, and they felt like they were falling off a cliff. It's the exact language they used. So what happened was this trader was triggered into a state, an unwanted state of anxiety and feeling like they're on the back foot. And to alleviate the unwanted state, the anxiety, the only strategy that trader had in their mind to alleviate that state of anxiety was to get back into the market and take another trade, even though there were no opportunities according to their trading plan. And they wanted to get back into the market with more risk on, because in their mind at that point in time, they perceived the only way they will be able to alleviate that unwanted state is if they were to get back into the market, overtrade. There was no opportunity according to their plans. They got back into the market. They took a trade that wasn't part of their plan, and they over risked because that was the pleasure in their mind to overcome that pain of being deep in drawdown. That was the only option they saw in their mind, to over risk on a trade that wasn't part of their plan so they could get out of that state of anxiety. So all destructive self-sabotaging behaviors are triggers. You're triggered into a certain unwanted state, and that behavior is a coping mechanism for that unwanted state. So what I teach traders is identify your triggers, keep a trigger journal, and identify everything that triggers you, and then find viable alternative ways to alleviate the unwanted state that don't involve trading. So you don't have to continue to participate in that destructive behavior. Now, what would happen is this trader would then guilt and shame themselves for continuing to do that self-sabotaging behavior, for having no discipline. And because they were shaming and guilting themselves, shame and guilt means you're consciously aware of the drawbacks, you're unconscious of the benefits, the motives you have in that moment doing that behavior. Because they were unconscious of the benefit, the motive, they would continue to do the same behavior when they were triggered into that state. But because they're unaware of the benefits, they just beat themselves up because they could only see drawbacks in that moment. So all self-sabotaging destructive behaviors follow this particular pattern. If you want discipline in your trading and in your life, it's the same pattern in your life as well. You need to identify and dissolve triggers. You need to be aware of what state you're triggered in, note that, and then have viable alternative strategies to deal with this unwanted state that don't involve participating in the so-called destructive behavior you don't want to participate in. So in summary, the solution: start keeping a trigger journal. This is a journal where you note down every single time you've been triggered into an emotional state by the market. Uncover what is it that's been triggering you and what is bringing up for you. Is it more than 3 losses? Is it losing a funded account? Is it going into drawdown in your funded account? Is it taking a loss on a certain pair or a certain asset? Is it taking a certain type of loss? What are the triggers? Identify what those are. Then understand what state or unwanted state are you in that you're using the self-sabotaging destructive behavior to cope with. You're using that destructive, so-called destructive behavior to cope with an unwanted state. I want you to see that connection and see what type of a pain you're moving away from, trying to move away from, and see how you have a motive to utilizing that unwanted destructive behavior. Also, integrate your two sides. Understand you're a human being. You have two sides to yourself. You got a side that you're proud of, you want to show off to people. You also got a side that you may be slightly more ashamed of. You want to hide away from individuals and hide away from other people. That's what it means to be a human being, to have two sides. So learn to integrate yourself. Don't be thinking with unrealistic expectations that you have to be one-sided, positive without negative, because that's never true. Because I haven't seen evidence of that with anybody. And then finally, you have to find viable alternative strategies to deal with unwanted states. Otherwise, you're going to continue to be looped back into doing the so-called destructive behavior.